Well, hello there, beautiful people. What is good? We are here. We are here indeed. It's time to take the mask off, like I said. Let's fucking get it. So, what did I mean by mask off? What did I mean by, I'm taking the mask off, all the other shit I was tweeting yesterday? There's a very good explanation for like all of that, pretty much. I feel like over the last year or so, you know, I've been trying to like keep this image of just being this good guy or whatever. Like for the most part, I've had my bad moments for sure. I'm human. Like we're all human, bro. Straight up. This isn't necessarily a no more Mr. Nice Guy thing. This is I'm gonna stop going out of my way to be this person where it's just like I hold back my feelings for the feelings of others, and I hold back like what I have to say, or like how I feel on certain things, just to placate people, just to like so people feel good about themselves or whatever. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be malicious towards anybody. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna come out here and bully anybody, because that's not right. That's not me. That's not who I want to be. That's not who I am. But there's just sometimes you just gotta say the real. You just gotta speak your truth and not let nobody try to tell you not to do it. Not let nobody try to gaslight you and shit. Not let nobody try to shut you down for saying the real. So here we are, bro. Here we are. I got a lot to say about a few different subjects. I'm gonna say what I have to say in the most respectful way that I can. And if you feel some type of way about it, you feel some type of way about it, period. So the first thing that I want to talk about today is toxic positivity. Now, what is toxic positivity? Basically, more or less, the psychological group.com. So basically, they define toxic positivity as the excessive and ineffective overgeneralization of a happy, optimistic state across all situations. The process of toxic positivity results in the denial, minimization, and invalidation of the authentic human emotional experience. So it's basically, positive vibes all the time. There are a lot of streamers, there are a lot of communities where it's just positive vibes only. And let me tell you, just based off of my experience over the past 2 years with streamers like that and communities like that, if I see positive vibes only in somebody's rules or whatever like that, that is a big red flag to me. Because in my experience, most people who talk about positive vibes only are some of the most, I don't want to say they're negative behind closed doors, but it's they don't really hold true to that. And some of them are just so positive that they basically allow a lot of shit. They basically just hide a lot of shit that happens in their community that just kind of put a band-aid on it. It's somebody just slashes your arm or something like that, and you just put a little band-aid on it trying to, it ain't gonna stop the bleeding, bro. It's not gonna stop the pain or nothing like that. That might not be the best analogy, but fuck it, we're gonna go with it anyways. And honestly, this is holding myself accountable because I used to be one of those positive vibes only streamers myself. So I take responsibility. Like I said on Twitter, this is about holding me accountable for what I've done in the past as well. How I've been in the past as well. So I don't want people to feel I'm just attacking people. I'm coming after myself as well. So let me just tell you a story that happened to me a couple of years ago. So basically, I had this friend, and I'm not going to put their name out there. If you know who I'm talking about, do not harass them at all. I 100% rebuke any harassment that anybody tries to send them. And if you're gonna harass them, you're not one of my people, straight up, period. But there are some people who know who I'm referring to. But basically, I had this longtime friend, and they got into streaming a few years ago. Basically, they credited me with inspiring them to get into streaming. Long story short, now this person was just very problematic towards other people in the sense that they would just trash people or whatnot. They would just just say the most disrespectful shit about them. So basically, within the span of a couple of months, this person basically caused scenes in two of my streams type shit. One was actually my birthday stream a couple of years ago, and basically the person got mad at somebody else in my community, I guess deleted them off of PlayStation or something like that. And I'm just like, you're bringing this up. Like, I basically was just like, like, if this is like really that deep, just take it to DMs. I wasn't trying to deal with it in, like during my birthday stream type shit. And then another time, like, they were just like, they and their partner were like, getting, kind of like just talking, really like vulgarly to one another, like in like a, sexual way, And then somebody was just like, oh, get a room or something like that. And they got so offended, they started trashing the person that said that. This is like an entirely different stream too. So then basically I had a conversation with them where they're just like, oh, like, this, that, and the third, like, they're basically trying to spin it into me being in the wrong for bringing up the fact that other people are like having an issue with him, like with them doing this. So it's like now I'm like actually addressing something going on in my community because it's like it's a pattern, bro. So basically, like, it's this whole conversation where they're basically trying to gaslight me as if I did something wrong by bringing it up. And then at a certain point, like, I get a call from their partner, and like the next morning, like literally off of like 2 hours of sleep, like the call woke me the fuck up. So I was already like pissed off. Oh, like, then I just block them. They just start completely like spazzing out about me in their very next stream or whatever. It is what it is. And again, like, if you know who this person is, I would very much appreciate you guys not bringing up their name, because I'm using this as an example of toxic positivity type shit, This isn't to attack that person. It is what it is. Like, all the best to them regardless of how I personally feel about them or whatever, but, But basically, we were both, like, affiliated with this group at a time, and basically they kind of got caught in the crossfire of it, and they're kind of like having, like, I basically let a few people, like, the higher ups know about like what was going on, and basically they're just kind of telling me to like just let it go or whatever, just like not like bring it up or anything like that. Not in like a way that, oh, they're trying to shut me up or whatever, at least initially. It died off for like a good month or so. But then I ended up like being reacquainted with somebody who they basically kind of gaslit me into believing wasn't a good person or whatever. And they just started completely just like spazzing out about that as well. Then somebody from my community went to another stream that person was in. Then this whole thing blew up. Like, I guess like their partner just got really mad that person was in there because they thought I sent them in there or something like that. And then that person also sends a DM to like one of my other friends, like just trashing him out of nowhere type shit. And I'm just like, okay, like I'm just, then that person comes up to their stream to address it, and then I get blamed for that, as if I sent the person in there or something like that. And I'm just like, okay, like, so basically what I'm trying to get at is, if there are issues in your community or whatever, like, don't be so hell-bent on being positive that you try to mask up certain situations for the sake of like positive vibes only, okay? That's what I'm getting at. Like, maybe I'm not explaining it the best way, but it's like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, don't be so pressed on like, positive vibes only or whatever that you just allow certain things like that to like, get to that point type shit. Just putting a band-aid on like something like that, it is just like, it doesn't solve the problem. And if anything, it just alienates people who are being like, attacked and like harassed and whatnot. And it makes them feel unheard. It makes them like, it alienates them, and it causes them and other people to just leave the community altogether. So it's like, if somebody's being toxic within your community, even like, and you're trying to like keep this whole positive vibes thing, well, keeping positive vibes in your community and in your stream kind of constitutes you getting problematic people out of your community, period. Not just putting a band-aid on it when there's like a little bit of a squabble, and then like, like, let people talk about it. And it's just like, sometimes you're gonna have to pick a side, bro. So like, sometimes you're just gonna like, trying to avoid picking a side, like when somebody's like actually in the wrong, like somebody's like definitely in the wrong, like mainly in the wrong, I would say. Like, there ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Like, problematic people are problematic people, and if you just like put a band-aid over a problem, especially when that same person has caused problems with multiple other people, that's not solving anything. So I don't know. That's like, that's part of it. I also had a friend kind of tell me about a situation they were in. I'm not going to delve into that because that's not my business. But I did have a friend, like, you know, we had a conversation and they kind of went through something similar to what I just was talking about. Like a little bit different, but they're, you know, similar, all the same. So that's my thing about toxic positivity. I've been like one of those toxic positivity people in the past as well. You know, keep the negativity at the door or whatever. But it's like if like there's like an argument, then like let people talk it out. And if it gets disrespectful, be like, hey, like, you know, y'all can like talk things out, but it's just like, you know, try not to like be disrespectful to that person or whatever. Like, you know, or if you want to be meaner about it, be meaner about it. It is what it is. Like, you know. But yeah, that's what I have to say about toxic positivity for the most part.